Hello and welcome to the Chatter Cave podcast, where we discuss media in the form of obviously discussions on movies, TV shows, video game news, reviews, stuff like that, and just occasionally have a chit chat about random things. I'm your host, Drag King Thomas Hughes. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Zenny F _, aka Connor O'Shea,
Lash, aka Sexy Slag.
aka Sexy Slag. On another fucking very hot day.
Sweating, man.
Mate,
Sweating me
the bus
nuts
ride
off.
back home was ridiculous. Like, that's why this one because this woman basically, because there was nowhere to put any fucking pushchairs, and this woman putting there like a fucking bike for a kid, and we just sat there for about 2-3 minutes, and the fucking heat was getting warmer and warmer, and then as soon as we started moving, a massive gust of wind just hit, and I was like,
For some reason, before you was going to say like the one with the push up, you was going to say like a woman died on the bus. My mind went there. Because I remember before when the woman passed out on the bus, like an old woman like passed out the front of the bus. And the guy just took her off the bus and gave someone else, and he just drove off. He's like 5 minutes to go, I mean, like, you're okay? She's like coming round, and he's like, calls someone over and puts them on the bench, let alone that's her bus to get home, whatever, and just drove off. I was like, okay.
Humanity. So sympathetic we are. Oh, are you okay, love? Let's just get you off for this bus out of our way. Bye!
Oh, DNA! Shit.
It's the next Fast and Furious installment, that is. I won't pass out on the bus. Get off my bus!
Vin Diesel picks up as a shield.
Every time I keep going, they keep advertising at the fucking premiere of it. And it's like, the most action-packed franchise of all time. I was like, no, it's called the most over-the-top franchise of all time. As Hayden says, the most unnecessary franchise of all time.
I don't know how it's a franchise. It's fucking dreadful.
I like a certain block of them. It's just it's getting to a point of, how the fuck did you go from this film to this film? It's just like, what the fuck?
Vin Diesel.
Basically, get the money. Even though technically he only did the first one, he didn't come back technically till like the fourth one. Like, he wasn't in the second one. He had a little cameo in the third one, and that was it. It was only the fourth one when he came back fully.
Didn't he produce them though?
More than likely, he's more than likely attached to him for producing. But yes, obviously I referenced that because obviously we went to the cinema today. Not you, Connor. You didn't go. You said at home. Me and Hayden went.
I went to Morrison's.
We went into a lovely air-conditioned cinema, where the guy, people at the start, and it comes up with obviously it comes up with something, and they come out like, "Oh, good afternoon" or "Good morning," and they start talking like, "Please make sure your phone's on silent," yada yada. And we do hope you enjoyed the film. It comes on the screen, the big thing does, and we're sitting there. She keeps looking over the balcony like, "Where's this guy? He hasn't come in yet." And then literally, as the screen goes to black, he comes in and goes, "Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy the film." And it goes straight ahead. Fuck me.
I don't know what I'd have to say that for. It's so stupid.
The fastest man alive. He's that quick. We didn't even hear half of it. He's that fast. I like to think they're doing that on purpose. I like to think that's an actual purpose thing. Like, it's this idea of like they're like, let's just wait and make people go, wait, just go and have them come out and go, okay, welcome, goodbye.
They should have had the dude in like a flash it just run like straight in, straight back out.
It's one dressed as the Flash. That would have been funny. I mean, there's only about 10 people in there, plus us, so about 12 people altogether. It's a Wednesday for you.
It's true.
It's a weird day.
It's fucking hot.
It's hot. It's a Wednesday. It's just a weird day in general to bring it out. But obviously, me and Hayden saw the new Flash movie, the latest installment in the DC franchise, and the reset button. But I'm still confused how it's resetting because I can't see that full reset. I can see a lot of these characters coming back in the next one, but I can't see that ending. Not the end credits, in the other ending being the actual thing. I'm not going to say it because it's a massive spoiler. And this is a spoiler-free review. Yes, you keep messing with that. So I'm not going to say. I'll probably say it to Connor if he wants me to tell him after the review. What I'm on about.
At the end of the film, Ezra Miller gets arrested by the police.
There is a funny moment at the end when they're coming down the stairs from the court, because obviously that's a big point of the movie, is the court case at points. They're coming down the stairs, and obviously they keep getting asked for interviews, and I was looking at it, I was like, it's Ezra Miller IRL. It's like, they've literally not even filmed this for the film. They've just watched them walk down the steps of real life and gone, get the camera, fucking film. That's why the director's there. That's why the director was eating a hot dog outside. He was just like waiting for him to come out. Because there's literally a scene of the director eating a hot dog. And I'm literally now thinking the whole reason the director was there was like, okay, we know they're coming out the court case. We can save a few quid. Just fucking record them coming out the court case. But yeah, so anyway, yes, the new Flash comes out. It's the reset for James Gunn's universe to get rid of a lot of stuff like Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and a couple of other things here and there that are basically like, it's just eradicate that and restart. And it does its job. It does its job in that sense. It's a fun superhero movie that's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of comedy.
What are you giving it out of 10?
But it's got a lot of bad CGI.
I heard bad CGI was a big thing.
It's like 50% of the time, CGI is awful. There's this whole sequence, without getting into too spoilery, where obviously in the actual, say, CW TV show, when the Flash goes back in time, he just kind of runs through a portal, basically. This one, he does, but he also kind of just runs on the spot and like a massive like ball of electricity forms around him, and like the timeline builds around him.
Terminator style.
Kind of like a Terminator ball, yes. So basically, the timeline builds around him like in massive like pillars going up. Like it looks like a coliseum of different events at this point. And basically, as he's going back, it kind of like it changes into different things. So like at one point, you see like a Batman and Wonder Woman standing there because obviously that's like just happened. And then it goes further back to seeing like his parents and stuff like that. It like the timeline that whole coliseum keeps changing via what point of time he's in. And but it's a cool idea. Very cool idea. It's something different than just running for a portal or some bullshit like that. Problem is, everything in that area, I don't know if it's intentional, it looks so cartoony. It looks so bad. Like, it puts you off. Like, I don't know if that's intentional, then, okay, fair enough. They've executed it how they wanted to. Like, it could be the idea that when it goes into this timeline, it's like that. It looks kind of cartoony. But, if it's not, and it's just the fact that that's the CGI they've gone with, it's like it's worse than the "you guys are screwed now" scene from Infinity War.
Mm.
Like, it's so bad, and like there's a lot of shots as well where obviously they're both together, both versions of Barry. So obviously they kind of got to CGI one of them into place because they kind of have two there, and you can tell it's heavily fake. It's very much like Carrie Fisher in Rogue One. You can tell it's so fucking de-aged or faked or whatnot. Like it's not as subtle as Sam Jackson in Captain Marvel. It's not as subtle as that way. That's obviously very subtle de-aging. This is a full-on like CGI face on him. It looks bad, and there's shots that, which you think would be a lot easier, where obviously they're focusing heavily on the non-masked up Barry, but the one with the mask on, obviously that's the way the CGI said the mouth on. That even that looks bad. Like the visual effects are heavily bad 50% of the time in this movie, and it does hinder a lot of the movie. Not heavily, like you can get past it. It's not heavy hindrance because, as I say, a lot of the movie is fun. It is action packed. It's nostalgic because obviously you got Michael Keaton back as Batman, and he's badass. Like the music playing over top of it is so good. There's a lot of obviously other cameos early on and throughout the timeline changes, which are nice little cameos. Like you can even ask Hayden on this point. What was my? I'm not gonna say who, but my. Like, look at me, and I'll replicate it to kind of what was my face reaction to a certain cameo before I even saw it on screen because I knew who the fuck it was. That was my face.
If that's not a face because Danny DeVito's back as Penguin or something, I'll be
it's like something that should have happened but didn't happen, and obviously I knew before it came on screen because I could tell by the suit. Obviously, from images I've seen of test shoots for obviously whatnot, so I could tell by a suit who it was. And then obviously I saw the character's hair and I was like, okay, it's them. But it's all CGI'd again. And you can tell it's very CG. Like, I say, it's spoiling too much. Obviously you can see like Christopher Reeves pop up. There is like a reference to Christopher Reeves, but it's fully CG. But they could have like gone a different route of using archive footage from the actual movies, but they decided to just CGI the entire character. And you can heavily tell it's in that cartoony manner that's in this timeline fucking bit. Like, it's just like, what the fuck?
DC always have a hard time with CG and always overly use it as well.
Like this one, for how expensive the film is, how long they've worked on it, the CGI is trash at times. Like I've not seen a film this expensive look so bad at times. But as I say, it doesn't fully take away from the movie. Oh, She's doing his running's very weird in this one. Like I thought his running's weird in like the old ones, like the Snyder one. His running was a bit like weird, but it's even weirder in this. Like his running's like really fucking like off, which is strange. It's bet is equal as a CW Flash to be fair at times, and that's a TV series.
That's a good point actually. Comparing the CG from the film to the TV series, what's
a
lot of
the times it's very similar. A lot of times you can look at it and be like, that is kind of very similar. But as I say, a lot of other aspects of this do heavily come across really well. Obviously, she didn't really like the younger version of Ezra Miller in this, the more Spider-Man-esque fun type one, but I didn't mind him. He was over the top, yeah, but it was obviously the humour of the movie. The other one being the obviously serious, bit humorous type one at times. Obviously, they're both really good. Obviously, they're massive standout. Michael Keaton, obviously, as Bruce again, is such so good to see. Like, especially kicking ass is just like nice. Obviously, Ben Affleck, for the short time you get him, is good again. I do like Ben Affleck, and obviously it's a shame that obviously this point now, that's it, he's gone. This is his out. But yeah, obviously, the actress who plays Supergirl, I can't remember her name in this, in real life, off the top of my head. She's really good, even if she has like a limited screen time. Like she comes into it, and like the anger you see in that is really good. Like she's like a vengeful Supergirl. She's not like this like normal like super character like a normal. It's not like Superman here. He wasn't Man of Steel. She's more like the scene in Man of Steel when he snaps Zod's neck, but consistent. Like she's that level of anger, constant. Obviously, when she finds out what has happened to obviously Clark in this universe, like she goes full fucking brute force. As I say, she's really good. I think the parents are decent as well. I know they recast the dad for Barry this time around. He's a different actor to obviously the Justice League one, which is a shame because I did like the actor from that because he's the one who plays the blue guy, Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen. The one that they basically made Fancy Squidward in the TV show version.
Fancy Squidward, man.
Is that the main Fancy Squidward? Is it Sexy Squidward or whatever it's called? Well, he's got a really chiseled face.
Handsome Squidward.
That's it.
I think you're talking about Squilliam.
Oh, Squilliam Fancyson from Band Class.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, the guy who played him in the actual movie version was obviously Barry's original father in the last movie, but obviously he couldn't do it because he was doing that Apple TV show, The Morning Show. So basically, he dropped out and they recast him. And I say, and he had a little bit in this, but he was alright. Obviously, the mom was decent as well. Obviously, unlike the TV show version, where she's American, this version she's basically Spanish. Which it doesn't take it away. It doesn't take much away from it. Like obviously, sometimes when obviously they change stuff about a character, it can take it away. But obviously, it's just a mom character. It's a character that's just built to basically be killed. And obviously, she does a lot of really heartfelt moments before it happens, so it's fine. I said, who else? What else can I think off the top of my head? The opening's pretty good. Obviously, even though it includes some dicey CGI with the whole baby sequence. I said the baby sequence dicey at times, the CGI. Because the babies don't look the realest babies at times. Okay. And yes, he does put a baby in a microwave at one point without going into too much detail. It's turned off. Turned off. That's weird. That's what I mean. It does ding. Then again, they can ding if whatnot. And yes, it is on fire. And he did just use it a minute ago. That baby should be dead. But yeah, so obviously that is very dicey at times to see during that. But obviously, it is a cool sequence. Obviously, it's them trying to replicate what obviously they did in Justice League with obviously the rescuing people from the scene. But obviously, in terms of slowing it down, it's them replicating more of X-Men. Obviously, the Quicksilver scenes in Days of Future Past and Apocalypse, when obviously
the prison.
He's running around the room, and obviously in the Apocalypse is when he's going to the X-Mansion with the "Sweet dreams are made of me." Who am I? That song when it's playing, he's running around the mansion getting everyone out. It's like obviously they're trying to replicate that, but with the Flash. But I will say they're very inventive how they did the title come on the screen, because obviously it goes into like speed mode like this, and obviously as his visor comes down, obviously it starts to show the Flash name, but then someone screams, so it just stops really quick, and obviously he gets distracted, and when he actually gets undistracted, he does it again, and it comes on again. I thought it was quite inventive way of having the title come on, not just like a black screen of just the Flash. They also actually put Barry into Man of Steel as well for a shot. Like, no, have you seen Batman vs Superman?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Do you know the start of it when obviously it's the attack and Bruce Wayne's watching and basically Superman's fighting Zod and whatnot? The very open
I
of the movie.
can't remember it.
When
Okay, I probably do remember it because I watched the beginning and I watched like halfway, and then
it's
I
the
got
very
on to
beginning,
watching
obviously
it.
after the Wayne murders. It's the bit where obviously when he's watching, basically the city just get destroyed by Superman and Zod. Obviously they inserted Bruce into Man of Steel sequence, but obviously from a different point of view. They do the same in this with Barry, which I like. I like that they put another character in that obviously movie because it's the idea of they're going to be there. So what will they do at this point? And obviously it does a different. Obviously it's his first time as being a hero. They put it that's when this happened. So they do a really good way of showing that that's the pivotal point for him to start getting to where he's at now. So I did like that, and even if they did, obviously. They tried to replicate the CW Flash like fake suit. Obviously, you remember the first suit he had in the Flash back in the day, the weird contraption he was wearing. They kind of replicate that with like a homemade suit, which obviously at times does look better than his actual suit. Because the CGI in his actual suit at times looks rough.
Dreadful.
Like the armor he had in Justice League was good. I like the armor, but I'm not a big fan of his actual suit he's got there. I like the lights. The lights are nice. It's just at times it looks rough. But I will say, do you remember that image I showed you they got on the neck?
Yeah.
It's not actually that bad in the film.
Not bad, not big neck.
It is like that, but it's not as bad when you're watching it. Because it's technically an old Batman suit. He uses the Michael Keaton Batman suit and replicates it. Because you can see it in the trailer. Obviously, he's painted over the bat suit, bat symbol with the flash lightning. So you do see that. So it is that.
Michael Keaton still move really stiff when he looks when he's like. Because he's that fucking neck thing.
Want some help?
So it's like he has to turn his whole body to look where he's like.
I did like him in this. He is really good in this, Michael Keaton. I do love Michael Keaton. He's such a good actor. And I can't wait to see him back as Beetlejuice. He's bringing back a lot of his old characters now. He should bring back the guy from the other guys. Solo movie of him.
He was Jack Frost, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Jack Frost in the
okay, bring him back.
Movie.
That film's so bad. I hate that film so much.
But yeah, obviously, there's a lot of really good stuff with this movie, but it's heavily hindered on its CGI, and it is kind of a shame that it's not a full adaptation of the actual Flashpoint story, because that obviously had a lot of characters that they've kind of just brushed over entirely from this, i.e. Cyborg, Superman, Aquaman. Like, all these characters are a big part of the actual Flashpoint. They're either little cameos or not even presence or just a slight reference. So it's a shame that they've took a lot away from what I loved with Flashpoint. But as an obviously a slight adaptation, it does its job of what it wants to be, and it is a good movie. I just want to know what the fuck they're going to do with that last shot of the movie, because that can't be canon universe. I'm not having that as canon universe because it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Everybody dies.
But yeah, I think I wanted to really say about this film. But yeah, I know they're projecting it to basically not do it like massive in the opening weekend. Like I think America alone, they're only projecting like 60 million, which is fuck all, really. I mean, Indiana Jones is like only projected to be like, the same, which is fuck all compared to like other entries. But yeah, I think overall, I say. The CGI in that does hinder it, so I would never call it the greatest superhero movie of all time. I can literally like name drop 5 greatest superhero movies than this: Logan, both Spider-Verse movies, No Way Home,
Endgame.
Exactly, I can name like 5 that are better than this. So it's not as where people like basically they hyped it up. It's definitely overhyped, but it's still a good movie. So I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It's still a good movie, but it would have, if you kind of added a lot more of what makes Flashpoint good and a lot more stuff here and there, it would have gone up even more, and then fixed the fucking CGI. It definitely would have been a lot better. But because of CGI and a few things that I wasn't a big fan of, that does hinder it back. And personally, I think Shazam 2 was better. That might be controversial. I mean, I think Hayden agreed with me on that. Shazam 2 was better. Do you think Shazam 2 was better? Might have been slightly.
The story's better for.
I think the story's better than Flash.
the whole, as a whole, it was better.
What Shazam was.
Yeah.
And so I think it was slightly better than Flash. That and obviously had a really cool fight with the dragon at the end. Whereas this one, its villains were like, for example, General Zod was basically just like little bits and bobs. It's like, what's the point in even bringing him back? And then its big speedster villain, where it's the Dark Flash, I think they refer to it as, is literally in like a couple of shots, and then they're at the movie. And it's just like, okay. At least with the other one, they had massive sequences with this dragon in Shazam. At least there's massive fights with the dragon.
All three talking about this.
Yeah, so at least they actually did a lot of stuff with it. Whereas this one, to be fair, most of the fucking villain fights were just humans. Were just soldiers.
Yeah.
And the Kryptonians at the end.
True.
That was it.
So, you know.
Which reminds me, as I said to Hayden, the CGI, obviously in Man of Steel, the Kryptonians have like a visor over their face to stop basically Earth's atmosphere touching them. The CGI Man of Steel from 2013 looked better on that than the Flash did in 2023. Like, honestly, it looks so much better on the, obviously General Zod's face than it did in this. Even like the woman, I can't tell if she was like the face was CGI'd under there or not. He looked a bit janky. But yeah, there's a few. Obviously the CGI is definitely the big hindrance, and a couple of choices that could have been done differently.
Yeah.
It could have been handled better.
Like,
Yeah, it could have been handled better, and they could have like not hyped it up as much. I feel like I feel like
the best movie ever.
I feel like that was its problem. They hyped it up too much. And as I said to Hayden, I know why Tom Cruise loves it. They fucking referenced Top Gun in it.
Oh, okay.
Well, in a way of saying, isn't that movie with the planes and the gay volleyball scene? So they kind of basically point to the fact that it's a very gay movie. Homoerotic is the word I'm after here.
Yeah, that scene is very homoerotic.
So that's probably why Tom Cruise loves it. It's like, hey, they reference my movie. I love this movie. But yeah, there's some stuff. It is a very enjoyable film, and I do recommend watching it. But be mindful of very bad CGI. But yes, anyway, so obviously let's have a quick discussion on this game.
Wait.
Oh.
On the same topic of the DC, because it's been a very long time since I've watched any films, but I watched some since I've been off work. I managed to watch Suicide Squad 2 the other day.
Oh,
for the first time. I was confused at first. Like, why is this the first one or the second one? I was like, what the fuck? And obviously, when it started, okay, it is the second one. I thought it was pretty good. I thought there was some things in there which was like a bit bullshit, like when everyone's dying on the beach at the beginning, Harley Quinn just kind of walks across and doesn't die, and I'm like, hang on. Like, I understand that she's got to be alive because she's probably the biggest actor in here, other than fucking like John Cena and that, but like, everyone else is dying, how are they not hitting her? She's just walking across the beach. I was like, come on.
So that's a movie I would put over The Flash. That's another one I'd put over.
I think my favourite part in the entire film is when they go to rescue the soldier guy and they kill everyone, and it's actually like resistance camp.
Oh yes,
and they're like,
when they basically keep like showing each other off and they're shooting and whatnot. It's just like, and he's like,
I'm not sure if I like what they did with the shark. It made him really fucking stupid, and I was like, I don't know if I feel like he'd be a bit more sentient would be cooler. He's just like non-normal.
Look at the. I recommend with that one. Look at the version in the CW series. That version is more sentient and he's more monstrous. So if I was after we finish this, Google the Flash King Shark, and you'll see the difference in that, because obviously that's Stallone. They've just used Stallone for obviously the movie, but in this show obviously it's just like some random guy. But as I say, even like his first appearance is like a giant fucking like hulked out fucking. He's like essentially King Shark in that movie has basically the brains of like a lot of the animated versions of the Hulk. Really dumb. Really fun. Which reminds me of the scene from the Flash when he went as a suit. He kind of looks like he's got. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it after this to you. But yeah, obviously the CW one. He's built like the Hulk. He's built like it, not meant to like it. He's built like the Hulk. I'm doing the meme. I'm doing the Invincible meme. You don't think.
How did he die at the end? I totally forgot how he died.
Who?
The shark dude.
He didn't die.
I know. I thought he did.
No,
he's fighting he's not at the end. They'll walk off and there's only like the three of them left.
No, they're all on the ship. He survives.
I swear he did. He's eating the thing, and the big starfish, and then he's
Yeah, he
like,
keeps
kills
eating
it.
it, he's
I
nominated.
thought he killed him.
No, the only one who dies in that final act is Polka Dot Man. Because he gets splattered. I'm a motherfucking soup bank!
Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
It's
I
your
thought he died.
mum! Giant mom.
Like I said, there's some bits in it I thought were really good, and some bits I was like, okay, well, like it kind of washed over. Like I don't know. I feel like they could have had maybe like obviously the first team they could have done a bit more with that instead of killing them off like instantly. I can understand why they did it
And
because
so
it's like
I was one thing that pissed me off with that team was Boomerang dying because I love Boomerang,
Mm.
the Australian one, because he's got the most personality. He's up
I
there
want to
with
see some of
Harley.
that dude with long hair as well. He just kind of swam out and then just like
Oh,
swam off and died. I was like, what's wrong with that dude? Like
the guy from
he's
The Walking
kind of
Dead.
cool. Yeah, I thought he's kind of like cool. Like he's just this like old gruntled dude, and then they're just fucking killing him off. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like how badass he's at first, like rescuing the fucking weasel and everything, who somehow survives and like walks off in the end credit scenes. Like it's how he's saving him, and then next minute he's just like, he just runs off.
To be fair, obviously the bit I didn't expect because obviously the Peacemaker series is a thing, but I didn't know he died at the end. I was like, oh shit! I was like, okay.
Yeah, but
So I
then
didn't
there's
know
a
it was
mid-credit scene of
before.
him coming back.
Oh, is that? What the? I didn't fucking see after. I must have missed the end credit scenes.
There's a mid-credit scene where basically he's in the hospital and basically someone's saying, someone was referencing him, basically they're going to use him again. And then obviously there's an end credit scene where the fucking weasel chucks up water and wakes
See, I
him.
saw them when the Weasel woke up.
That's
I don't understand how I didn't see that one.
it's the mid-credit scene. That one is the John Cena one. It is, isn't it?
And-
Babe. In Suicide Squad, the John Cena, it's the mid-credit scene, isn't it? Is it mid-credit or end credit? Because Weasel's the end credit scene, isn't it? Because that was the like random ass scene. It's as random as obviously the new fucking Flash end credit scene, which it just confirms one character that's sticking around.
Well, I enjoyed it anyway. I wouldn't say it's the best film I've ever watched, but it's definitely good. But compared to the Goonies, which I watched the day before, it didn't hold any water to that film. I fucking love the Goonies. I did watch another. I watched 3 films in like 3 days. I can't remember what the other film I watched was, but fuck's sake, I definitely. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my. I'll find out later. He's on Amazon Prime. Maybe that's why I missed the end. Some of the credit scenes because obviously when you're done, it goes to like a small box and they call it like the.
Oh,
What's next? Maybe I'll come in and prep because I left it so long. It come back up or something. Oh, I don't remember.
maybe. I know there's a lot of movies got delayed yesterday because the writers' strike at the moment. Like Disney delayed so much. Like all their Marvel films that they've got scheduled, like for next year beyond, all delayed by either a couple of months, or in the case of the 2 big Avengers movies that got coming out, the Kang Dynasty and the it's the Secret Wars. Is it Secret Wars? I can't remember. They delayed them like a whole year. Like they're not coming out until like 2020. Is it 7 and 8 now? I think it is, or something like that. Was it 6 and 7? I can't remember. But yeah, the only one that didn't get delayed was Deadpool. That got brought up 6 months.
Oh,
that now
I guess
comes
it's
out.
already been like done.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they've even started filming it yet. Like literally, they've delayed the new Captain America till next July instead of next May. But that's already filming. They're filming that right at this moment. And yet they brought Deadpool, which I don't think's even started filming. It started its pre-production, but I don't think it started filming. But they brought that up 6 months to replace the Captain America slot. And for the first time, unless any delays happen, they've now got a Marvel movie coming out in December. The new Thunderbolts movie, which involves obviously Winter Soldier, and basically all other basically villains that aren't villains, but are kind of basically their own Suicide Squad. Basically, that is like coming out in the Christmas slot now. But it's been the first like holiday release Marvel movie, which is interesting. No, it's not. Why are they saying that? Unless they mean first holiday released full Marvel movie, like they got full control, because technically Spider-Man No Way Home came out in Christmas time. But I'm guessing that's why they're saying that. I'm guessing that's why they're saying part of it's that. Yeah. I know the Star Wars movie's got delayed. The next one's not till 2026.
Delay that shit. Just keep delaying it until it's
and on top of
decent.
That, all the Avatars got delayed.
Again.
Avatar 3, which is due out next Christmas, which is December 2024, is now due out December 2025. Avatar 4 is now due out December 2029 instead of December 2026.
I'm be dead by then.
Instead of December It said December 2026. It's now December 2029. And then Avatar 5, instead of December... Hold on, here we go again. 2028, I think it was originally out. It's now December 2031.
Yeah, okay, I'm definitely gonna be dead by then. I'm not gonna be around for that long.
Well, you're only be 33, you fucking old bastard.
I'm not making it to that age, I'm telling you now.
I actually said to Hayden, I said I was about 11 when the first Avatar came out.
See, I love Avatar as a franchise, but I don't think they build enough on like the first one is so forgettable. Like the visuals were really cool, but the story itself is pretty shit. And then the second one is also kind of the same. Like I like the film, don't get me wrong, but I don't think the story was amazing. It's just very visually impressive. Maybe it's the opposite to the Flash. The story is impressive, but the visuals are shit.
Basically,
and then
that's basically what Avatar is to the Flash. The visuals are amazing. Story is not the best. Whereas the Flash is, as you say, story's really good. Visuals are ass. It's the polar opposite. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to balance it out. You have to have two franchises. You have to have one that with a great story but bad effects, and one with great effects but mediocre story.
Trying to think of a mid film that's like got a bit of both.
What?
Like good like a good story and also like decent CGI. That's like come out recently, but nothing like amazing. Obviously, like obviously Avengers Endgame and stuff. That's pretty fucking amazing. Like I mean, like a mid movie. So you rate like 8, so just above the Flash. Can't really think.
Ooh.
To be fair, I suppose the Suicide Squad had a pretty good CG. It wasn't really bad. I didn't see anything that was like
Cocaine Bear.
terrible.
The Cocaine Bear film. But
No, I'm not watching
the
that. So.
digital effects of the bear are actually decent. I think there's like maybe one shot where it looked a bit off, but overall, it's good visual effects on the bear. And it's got it's a decent story. It's not like the greatest story, but they're both kind of the same level. It's just about drug dealers dropping some cocaine in the woods and a bear finding it. What more can you ask for?
Are you sure?
But yeah, obviously they delayed all them. As I said to Hayden, I was like 11 when the first one came out. I'll be 33 by the time the 5th one's out. It makes you feel old. Makes you feel fucking old.
22 years.
22 years for 5 films.
Yeah.
To be fair, that shows like cause a lot of franchises by that point have got like over 10 movies. Like as I say, MCU, a lot of horror films have got so many films within like a short space of time. Whereas you can say, okay, it's not too bad really. 22 years and there's only 5 films. That's not too bad really. Obviously, it's just shit that it's the idea of it's a more massive continuation, and you've got to wait 22 years from the first one to be witness the last one.
Problem is though, is if the next one comes out and everyone watches it and they think it's shit, no one's going to go and see the next two, or at least a lack of audience to the next two. Like I didn't really like the ending of the second one. I thought it's so fucking stupid. Like obviously, this big bad guy's back again. So if that's the third time, now it's going to be the third time again. Like this guy dies twice and bring him back again. It's like fuck off, man. Bring someone else. There's got to be like a bigger threat than that. Like I know humans and like the fucking Na'vi meant to be like war against each other, but there's got to be like, why can't they bring like another race into it? Like it's a whole new fucking not another tribe which looks almost identical to the Na'vi. Why can't they bring like a whole new
different alien race?
That'd be cool as hell. Imagine an actual xenomorph going in there. No, they just need something like a bigger threat. Like the humans are cool, but like in this one, it was almost Na'vi versus Na'vi again because they just turned into the Na'vi. He's like, yeah, I prefer. I think the fucking ending was a bit off. I didn't enjoy the film. I think there's some parts where I would have been like, that entire scene could have been cut out. Like that big fucking whale thing when he's like communicating with it for ages and like swimming out, and it's like a long drawn scene just for the end for it to help him at the end. It's like, oh, okay, that was like really like drawn out for no reason. But obviously it's just because the visual effects are really cool, so I was like, let's fucking just put it in.
milk it like hell.
Like 100, like isn't obviously the next one isn't it doing like different elements almost? Like
Fire Tribe basically.
It's literally just fucking Avatar, like the Airbender series. Now it's been this.
Basically, obviously, keeping on the topic of Avatar, obviously we quickly move on to a very like brief topic on the gaming news and whatnot. Obviously, Ubisoft did their obviously Ubisoft, Xbox, and like in general showcase of the day. Obviously over the last week they've been showing obviously a lot of the games that they've got coming out. Obviously they've already been announced that haven't been announced yet. And they're basically just revealing them and whatnot. So obviously that's been a very interesting week on top of that PlayStation when we had that the other week. So it's been a very good chunk of time for gaming. And obviously, I know the Ubisoft one, they've released the trailer for the Avatar game.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I saw them release it. Yeah,
It comes out this December. This Christmas
Did it
it
look
comes
good?
out. Basically, have you seen Far Cry 6 gameplay?
Yes.
It's basically Far Cry 6, but in space.
Oh, okay.
Basically, I'm watching this trailer. Well, so I watched the cinematic trailer they did, which looked quite cool with little bits of gameplay. But then I watched the actual deep dive they always do, because they always do like a 10-minute deep dive into the gameplay. I watched that, and obviously they're showing a lot of the gameplay, and I'm watching. Obviously, it's from a first person perspective, and I was reading people like someone moaning, and I'm not going to buy this because it's not in third person. Like someone literally put that in the comments, and I was like, what the fuck? And as I say, I'm watching it. And as I'm watching it, I was like, I'm just getting Far Cry vibes from this, like the neo Far Cry. I'm like getting those vibes. And I was reading people comment on it and being like, this kind of looks like Far Cry, but in space. Far Cry 7, space. And I was like, so I'm not the only one that thinks this looks like Far Cry. I'm getting a lot of Far Cry vibes. Don't get me wrong, it looks decent. I mean, you get obviously you get the flying mounts. You can actually customize them, which is pretty cool. If you get to one area, you can obviously learn to ride the horses. Like there's different areas.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, and each area has their own thing that you can learn. And so, the interesting thing about it, you're not playing a human pretending to be a Na'vi. You're a Na'vi. You're a Na'vi child that basically gets abducted by humans, and they train them to be soldiers. The humans train them to be soldiers.
Opposite to Spider.
They're basically trained to be soldiers, and basically something happens, and they turn on them. And in the process of them turning on them, obviously they're rescued by another Na'vi, their teacher, who basically puts them all in cryo sleep, and they wake up like years later, and they've now got to like adapt to their world that they haven't been in for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to fight back against the humans, which, as I say, they got to fight back against humans and get back in with the tribes. And as I say, it does look alright. It looks a decent game, and I will probably end up picking it up if there's nothing, because I don't think there's anything else out due this December, so I'll probably pick it up and play it over Christmas. But yeah, obviously I saw it and I was like, okay. And I know they also dropped the gameplay for that Star Wars game that they announced ages ago that they're in development, and obviously they weirdly dropped the trailer for it at Xbox,
and then showed the gameplay
at their own one.
Event. Yeah.
Surely why not just drop both at the same event?
I don't know.
Yeah, obviously they dropped the gameplay for they dropped the trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, which obviously at Xbox, which showed that it was going to be a open world game where you're basically playing a Han Solo-esque character, and she's basically in the criminal underworld dealing with basically bounties and basically pew 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 stuff rather than Force stuff. Basically the polar opposite of the Jedi games I've got out at the moment. And then obviously they dropped the gameplay on Monday, which I was looking forward to. And again, I was watching it, I was like, it's not bad gameplay, it looks alright, I'll probably play it, I'll probably buy it as well because it's Star Wars. But as I'm watching it, I'm getting like Watch Dog vibes out of it. Have you seen the gameplay for it?
There's a little droid going and stuff. I saw bits and bobs. I saw them like trying to stealth
when they're obviously looking at like for like a certain vision where they can see like where the electric and everything's going.
Yeah.
I was getting.
To be fair, Ubisoft always rehash the same mechanics in many of the games. Every Far Cry has been almost identical to the last Far Cry. I understand it's sensitive, we fucking innovate.
I was explaining it to Hayden, obviously the fact that these two games just look like copy and pastes of already made IPs, and they've just kind of adapted them into like a new set, obviously an actual IP that's not theirs. We said, what's next? They're going to try and do an Assassin's Creed type game, like a Marvel franchise. They're like a Winter Soldier-esque one.
Obviously, have you seen obviously they also showed gameplay for the new Assassin's Creed there?
Yeah, I saw the Mirage gameplay, or the Jade one. Because they showed the Jade one, which is the mobile one, which looks alright.
Yeah, fuck that mobile poo-poo one. No one cares about that.
It's literally made like an actual game. It literally looks like you're playing visually looks like you're playing a console game in terms of Assassin's Creed. Like it's. I
don't understand why they're releasing mobile game. Like I suppose it is. It's gonna be fucking full of microtransactions. There's no way a mobile game.
Well, you get to make your own character entirely.
Okay, that's gonna be cosmetics then. Obviously, watching the Mirage gameplay, I don't understand like using some animations, but holy shit, the whole thing looks like animations that they've used for years on the same character again. It just looks like Ezio again. It's like use some different animation.
Well,
man. Like
at the bottom of that screen, it was saying work in progress, and I was like, it comes out this October. How's it work in progress?
Very soon.
None of these other games that they're releasing that have got a while away say work in progress. It's just this one that says work in progress. Like, how's it work in progress? It comes out in October. How's it work in progress? It's crazy.
Fair, the The only thing that sold me, I thought was really cool, was like a lot of it was stealth. It wasn't like it's.
It is literally. It's got. That's the thing. They're going back to the old games. They're going back to how it started. The more stealth aspect. It's a shorter game. It's less of an RPG. It's literally an actual story-driven stealth game. Which I'm interested to see. It's going to be weird going back to it after all these years, but I'm interested to go back to it. So I was recording obviously footage for the first Assassin's Creed game the other day, and I was saying on camera, I was like, what I might do over the weekend when it comes out, do like a couple of days stream on it, like spend like 4 hours each day over the weekend it comes out, just streaming it, because obviously Spider-Man announced literally fucking just out around the corner from it. I was like, I need to fucking bash for it as quick as I can. I mean, Alan Wake 2 is out like in between these two games, I think.
Yeah, it does look good. I'll wait for a few games. To be fair, a lot of these games, obviously, most of the ones that were announced that I want to play are on Game Pass anyway, so I'm not going to worry. And then a lot of like the ones that aren't coming to Game Pass, I'll just wait for them to come down in price, because they always come down after Christmas anyway. And I'm not in any big rush. For example, Assassin's Creed, I'm not going to pay full price.
I was looking at it, it's about 30 quid I can get it for, and I was like, I love that.
30 quid,
I love that. I mean, even at full price, it's only 45 quid.
45 quid?
At full price?
Full price game?
45 quid.
Like, it's got to be short. It's got to be really fucking short.
It's not an expensive game.
That's very strange.
I can get it. I know CD keys. You can get it for like 30 quid.
That's very strange that it's really cheap.
It's honestly a cheap. It's not expensive. It's quite. As I say, I'm guessing it's going to be like pretty like. If it's anything like the old games, it'll be about 15 hours, 15 to 20 hours, if that.
Yeah, but even the old games are full price when they come out.
Yeah, but even back then, full price was only about 30 quid.
No, full price back then, still 50. PlayStation 3. Hey, honestly.
I never bought a game at 50 quid. It was always about 40 quid I used to pay.
That was release price. Release price was like 50 quid.
No, a lot of games that I brought release price about 40 quid. It's only been recent times they've gone up to 50 and beyond. I mean, I've got to buy it at a discounted price because fucking Spider-Man's going to be about fucking 70 quid when it comes out.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Fucking.
Have you seen the fucking the big edition of that? I looked at it and I was like, I want to get it, but I ain't paying the price for it. There's an edition. You get obviously the game. You get a steelbook with obviously this custom artwork of them fighting Venom, which looks quite cool. You get obviously all the digital deluxe edition crap like the extra suits,
season pass and whatnot.
No, there's no season pass.
No season pass. There's never going to be DLC for it.
No, there was last time, but I don't think they announced it straight away. It was like ages after they announced they were doing it. Obviously, you get like a few other like little bits and bobs that are in the game. And on top of that, you get a statue, a massive statue of Venom, and obviously it's the exact same shot, near enough the same sort of shot of the steelbook, but obviously then an actual statue of him and Miles fighting Venom, which looks sick. I looked at it and was like, if that's like a reasonable price, like even I say reasonable, like, if that's like what 150,
it's going to be a 300.
I was like, that's expensive if it was 150, but I might pick it up for that. But I looked at the price, because it hasn't. The pre-orders go live the 16th, I think, of this month. I think it might be the day it goes out actually. And I was looking at it, and they put all the prices up on. I'm guessing they've already announced the sort of prices. And it's like 250 quid. I was like, fuck that.
Is this a typical, man? Like obviously statues stuff are fucking expensive.
Back in the day, never used to be though. Like, back in the day, you used to get statue editions for like 130.
Don't forget, a lot of like stuff back in the day used to like, make statues that were like plastic and stuff. A lot of the statues now they're putting the premium editions are like really fucking well made. Like,
oh, are they?
To try and chuck like all the money at the well, most of them do anyway, unless you go for fucking like. Do you ever Fallout 76 collector's edition? You got like a duffel bag.
do you remember the Marvel vs. Capcom one where it was like the Infinity Stones?
The stones, it's just like
plastic.
Stones in a box.
They're just plastic. And it was like a fucking ridiculous amount of money. I remember them, yeah. They fucked up both of them. Because in the Fallout one meant to be the helmet.
No, the Fallout one
was there a game with the helmet and it came out and it was shit?
Was it Mortal Kombat or was it? I don't think it was Doom. I think Doom helmet was pretty good.
I swear, I remember you telling me before there was one with like a helmet and it came out and it was awful.
I swear there's one and it come out and they advertised it's wearable. You couldn't wear it. And maybe it was Mortal Kombat.
No, it wasn't Mortal Kombat. It wasn't Mortal Kombat.
There's something.
What's the Fallout? Which Fallout game did you say it was? The duffel bag.
76.
Sure,
I don't think you had
sure it wasn't that one that they advertised like an actual proper like the helmet. I remember a helmet coming out and it being so bad. As you say, they advertised it as you could wear it.
Yeah, it might have been that. I forgot you had a helmet with it, but maybe
it would come out and it wasn't even wearable. I remember that. Yeah.
Like, obviously, I understand. Like, I think the Mortal Kombat one you couldn't wear either, but it was like obviously had a stand and everything. This one was just like meant to be wearable. I think I do remember it being, yeah. Because I remember Fallout 4 you got the Pit Boy, and then in this you got the helmet in the bag, which everyone complained because it meant to be like this proper duffel bag, and it's just shit. It's like a crap
I
bag.
know the new Mortal Kombat game. I think it comes with a figure, the statue as well. I
Statue.
think it's Liu Kang, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got his dragons.
Yeah.
But it's all like white out. It's not like coloured, which I don't like. It looks like marble, I guess. But I feel like I prefer if it was like all like
Like a
coloured.
normal,
It's just,
like a normal
yeah,
statue.
like imagine him with his like blue and red
Like
dragons.
this statue that I brought today. If it comes on camera, 'cause last week I did the Shazam thing when I showed off my fucking Shazam copy. Turns I was watching the footage back and I realised because I was doing it on my camera. Oh, see, I didn't do it like that. So if you didn't see it last week, for people watching, that's the still. But I did it like that. Obviously this, so you can see it there because you're watching it on my Discord. But on my actual screen, it's half cut off.
Okay.
It's half cut off. Obviously, I got a John Wick one as well.
Mm.
If you slide, my hand's a bit slippy, so it might not slide. Slide it off. You take his suit off.
But he's got to take his hair off first. I don't know
I'm
why.
taking his suit off.
Oh, I'm dressing.
I'm undressing Keanu Reeves. Oh, but yeah, like a statue. You mean like this bad boy?
Yeah, like actual coloured, like you know what I mean.
I'm trying to get rid of the light blocking it. There you go. Everyone can see it there. Yeah. How much that cost me? Have a guess.
30 quid.
You got it for, well, $29.99, but pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went in B&M.
Ah, don't it.
Went in B&M because obviously fucking dickhead lost some stuff and we had to buy it back.
All of that fucking dickhead.
You bought some stuff and fucked up with it, didn't you? We had to go and re-buy some stuff, and obviously went down the aisle. I was going to look at see what Funkos they had, and basically that's all that was like. I kind of have to get that.
I bite.
I was like, I've seen them in the other B&Ms I've been to, but not that one. They've had like 4 Wolverine and some other ones. I was like, they're cool, but I'm not going to buy them. And I looked at this one, and they had like the Wasp, and they had an Avengers one. I was like, they're pretty cool. And I glanced up, and I was like, fuck, I need that. It's got the dog and everything. I was like, I need that. But yeah, that's like that type of statue, not just like I'm trying to see if I've got anything that's just plain. I don't think I've got anything that's just like a plain statue that's got no colour on it. But I get what you're saying. Like it just looks like it's like something you find out in like.
I'm guessing it's meant to be like stylized, like it's meant to be like his stone or something.
Yeah, like something that's been chiseled.
Yeah,
you might find it like a historical place, like a statue, like a soldier or something standing or some shit like that.
I don't know. Didn't hit right. Talking about masks, sir. Come on, can you guess where the segue is going?
Masks. Payday?
Hell yeah!
Oh, what a guess!
Baby.
What a guess! I was just thinking, I was like, is he sticking with games here, or is he like this? Is he going into like a weird like gimp fetish, and he's like, he's gonna put like an S&M mask, and he's gonna put it on and be sat there the rest of the video.
Thinking about masks, pull Alex out. No, Payday 3, man. I'm excited for it. Obviously, it didn't show major gameplay. Like the first part of the trailer / gameplay that they showed was like there's no sound to it. Like it was just like music. And then they showed like the actual gameplay. But obviously, people are like, "Oh, it looks just like Payday 2." It's like, what more do you fucking want? Like, I don't want anything more than Payday 2. Other than maybe like a few extra mechanics and stuff. Like, I don't want like.
I basically want it like Payday 2, maybe a bit better, like, more newer graphics, but basically the exact same we've already got. But there's a few little tweaks here and there to make it work nowadays. That would be a much better game. And I saw it. I was like, yes, come out September, doesn't it?
September 21st. It's also on Game Pass.
I say because it's Game Pass, so obviously I think we're going to stream it when it comes out, just because why not?
It's going to be a big fucking chunky game.
I mean,
Payday
2 is a chunky game.
It's got like fucking a million DLC with it.
It's a good game though. It is a good game. I mean, that's like how we started. That and Rocket League are the two things that like how we started this channel. Yeah,
those are fucking bangers of a game.
They are, especially when you got a group together. If you can get a 2-person group, good. If you can get a full 4-man crew,
the 4's like the best you can go, man. Unless you do stealth and someone fucks up somewhere.
Stealth, or like when you're doing the all-out action ones, like the bridge ones, when you just go, everyone big armored up, miniguns just fucking blazing.
Me walking over the flamethrower.
Then you try and break into the ambulances or the safes or whatever you're breaking into. Like that's just fucking peak. So I'm very much looking forward to Payday 3. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's worth the wait.
Well, it's like Payday as a series. Nothing like that game that came out not long ago, which had like Chuck Norris and stuff in. Tried to basically emulate what Payday was, and it fails so fucking miserably. It's so bad. Do you remember? It's like the gangsters and that they had like really famous cast. Like, did you see the gameplay from that? It was so fucking dreadful.
Don't Michael Madsen and people like that.
Yes, I think it's Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen.
Also, had Vanilla Ice in it and shit.
Yes.
That was so
gangs
bad.
of something.
Yeah, it was so fucking bad. Like it came out and no one fucking bought it.
I didn't even see much on it. I just saw the reveal of it, and that was it.
If you ever want to watch some gameplay, look absolutely dog shit. Just go watch it. It's fucking stupid. I don't understand why.
I'll have a look. I haven't seen anything on it.
It's so bad.
Right,
so we're on to the Xbox stuff now.
Yeah, because obviously Ubisoft was literally just Assassin's Creed, the VR game and whatnot, Star Wars and Avatar, and obviously at the moment, the Xbox One, you got the Payday, you got the Fable announcement with Richard Ayoade for some reason.
And then the big boy, Starfield, which looks fucking amazing. Obviously, everyone's saying, oh, it's locked at 30 frames on console and stuff. It's like, yeah, I understand that's kind of shit, but I'd rather have a constant 30 frames and constant stutters at 60. Yeah. Like, I feel like they should definitely add a performance mode in there, because obviously they're saying on, like, for example, the Xbox Series, is it the X, and that's going to run in 4K constant. You can't put it down to 1080p. That's why it's running at 30 FPS. But surely they could put a 1080p.
Yeah, put it in 1080p.
I'd rather lose a few visuals and have like 60 frames than like. I understand why they're doing it, because maybe if they do it like the first time you play through, you've got it in this 4K, everything looks fucking great at 30 frames. And then like later in the life cycle, like, okay, we had a 60 mode, we're going to reduce some things. And then when you replay it, it's like a bit more fluid. Obviously, I'm playing PC anyway, so it's not going to make a massive difference. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty fucking good. The new Forza looks really fun as well, which is weird because apparently you can play every game mode offline, but the career mode's online. Which I thought would be the other way around.
Yeah, it should be the other way around.
Apparently, the career mode's online because it has to connect to the servers. Because she's like,
this kind of sounds like fucking.
Stuff, I think.
This kind of sounds like this Suicide Squad game.
Oh,
where you basically no matter what, you have to play online. You can't play it offline.
Like, I understand some games why that's the point, but like in a single player racing game mode, well, I don't understand. If someone cheats, who cares? Only cheating themselves, not cheating anyone else.
Bit weird.
I'm kind of trying to think of. There seem to be like big announcements, but like nothing that I was like, like obviously the big ones hit. Like I obviously announced Cyberpunk, the DLC coming out, but that's for everything. I don't understand why that does the Xbox event as well.
So I'm trying to think of what else they dropped. I'm trying to go back through trailers.
Clockwork Revolution thing, which is literally like BioShock. It looks identical. I mean, I thought it was BioShock for the first like 5 minutes of the trailer. I was like, oh shit, it's not BioShock.
Let's have a look. Oh, Phasmophobia is going to console now. I saw that.
Yeah, I saw Phasmophobia going to console. It's going to crossplay as well.
Yeah. I don't know if they've did a new update. There's some stuff on it that just I don't remember seeing.
Yeah, it's the end. It skips over it. You know, it goes all blurry. It's doing other stuff. It's basically adding like a few new like things. Like
the matches
look totally different as well.
You can like matches. Like so that's a new thing they've added. What else have we got? Let's have a look. I'm just scrolling through Prince of Persia, Final Fantasy, blah blah blah.
Have you seen everyone complain about Prince of Persia art style?
I've seen
people saying like it looks so bad and stuff. But the thing is, Prince of Persia always look cartoony. Like even the old games look cartoony. Like I don't understand why the
Payday 3,
worried about it.
Mortal Kombat. Actually, they showed the gameplay for Mortal Kombat, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the PC game. No, what's it called?
Overall showcase.
Yeah, that weird thing.
Summer showcase.
Yeah, that's it. Summer showcase. They had a PC game showcase, but it didn't really show anything amazing. It wasn't
that new like zombie type game, that Toxic Commando.
Commando.
It's made by. It's produced by John Carpenter.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
Based-
going to be any good, man. Zombie games have been let down lately. I don't know any games that
So
have been
it
like,
kind of
oh,
reminds me of like Back for Blood type game, that sort of thing. It just reminds me of that. Obviously, they revealed gameplay for Alan Wake. The Dead by Daylight Nicolas Cage. They showed a bit of like clips of that.
I saw him come out, yeah.
He's obviously plays a survivor in it and whatnot. Apparently, he's only doing it because obviously he wanted to branch out, and obviously someone in his family is like a big Dead by Daylight fan, so he's like, I gotta do it then. What else we got? I think that's it really. I'm going past all of it now. Yeah, there's some like little bits and bobs, but half the crap I won't even fucking touch. But yeah, there's a few things they announced.
I feel like the only thing that they didn't announce at the Xbox thing, which I thought for some reason they would have you ever heard of the fighting game Killer Instinct?
Yes.
I really thought they was going to announce something new with that, because I mean, like, they haven't touched the IP for like a good few years now, and obviously this year all the fighting games got announced, like fucking Street Fighter's coming out, Street Fighter's out, more Kombat's coming out. What's the other one?
Oh fuck!
Fuck's sake, can I forget? Oh,
it's a big one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking. But you know I'm on about that one. But I thought,
Yeah.
oh, come on, it's gotta be. Why don't they announce the fighting again this year? And to be fair, I like Killer Instinct. I'm playing it on the Xbox every day because it's on Game Pass.
More Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, not Tekken. Is it Tekken?
Tekken, yeah, it is Tekken, yeah.
I was like, is it Tekken? Is it Tekken? Questioning myself.
Tekken's alright. I like a lot of fighting games. There's so many different fucking things to learn when you play each one. Like, obviously you got the NetherRealm ones, which are kind of similar. But then you go to stuff like Street Fighter and Tekken, and it's like my brain's like, fuck me, this is so much more complicated than other stuff. I think my biggest like hate with fighting games, and obviously this is going to be like a lot of people probably pissed off about, is I hate just holding back to block. That's so boring to me. I like actually pressing like Mortal Kombat. You press like R1, you're actually blocking stuff. I hate just walking backwards. It seems so fucking. Oh, I don't know. But that's it. Fighting game.
Yeah.
I feel like just Mortal Kombat's the only one where you don't do it. But yeah, very annoying.
So, anything else you can think of you want to bring up some of the games? I think we spoke about most of them.
No, I don't think there's anything major that's not already been announced. That Life of P game, Lies of P, sorry, not Life of P, which is like Bloodborne-esque Pinocchio, I think got a demo. That was really good. Enjoyed that.
I haven't seen that. I have to look there.
Not your type of game, though. I don't think it's very Dark Souls-y, Elden Ring, like you die, you got to reset kind of thing.
Oh, okay, definitely there then. That's a no from me, there, sir.
Is a no.
Cheers.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else.
So we've had a good talk. I mean, we've gone longer than we thought we was going to go. We've gone an extra half hour longer than we thought. I mean, I did spend like 20 minutes slating the Flash's CGI while trying to defend the rest of the movie. But yeah, okay, if that's everything, then obviously you can check out the podcast and the rest of the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, well, Apple Podcasts. Sorry, pretty sure iTunes linked anyway, so it's, you know, basically anywhere you can get podcasts, it's more than likely attached to it. All the major ones, and obviously you can check the actual video of us beautiful mugs on YouTube if you're already watching it on there. If not, then obviously, you know, why aren't you watching our faces? Look at Connor's background. You can see Shrek behind him.
I like getting my head matched up so I look like I've got his ears.
Yeah, you got it spot on. That is.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, me and Connor do live streams every Sunday. You can check them out. At the moment, we're kind of stuck in the worms habit, so we'll just be doing worms next, like, God knows how long. Until we can figure out.
I've had worms for years. I keep shitting them out.
until we can figure out something else to take over the spot, we're just gonna keep playing worms.
It's gonna be worms until some like big game comes out, which we're looking forward to.
worms until September. Fucking hell, Connor, you need to go to the doctor if you got worms until September. Ass worms.
I remember playing worms back when I was a child.
Ew. You got worms since then. You're 25 years old.
Tell you what.
25-year-old ass worm.
Have you ever heard of a game called Hogs of War?
I feel like I have. I feel like you've told me before.
It is worms, but like 3D.
I feel like you've told me
and
before.
And I used to play the absolute shit out of that game, man. It's on Steam. Oh my god, it's on Steam.
I feel like you told me about this before.
It's $3.99 on Steam. I'm gonna have to link you that. It's so fucking good, man.
Obviously, we hope you enjoyed our little chat. As I say, if you're watching it on YouTube, obviously you can like and subscribe and just keep checking us out that way. I've still got some old podcasts from the old show that I can still try and upload at some point. I ironically, the DC reviews, so I'll try and get them basically up on Spotify at some point when I basically get around to actually uploading them. But yeah, obviously it's been our talk about gaming, and The Flash is very dodgy CGI. We hope you enjoyed, and this has been the Chat Cave podcast. So see you next time.
What's that, man?